everybody can have a seat because we're just gonna sing for a little bit. We're gonna sing another song. We're just gonna buy some time till 12 o'clock, so y'all don't have to stand, okay? Which one should we do now, guys?
Guys, sing hard. Full time. Hard time.
Okay, this song that we're gonna sing was composed by Jaden here, and it's a All Nation Junior original.
Andrew's here? You know Andrew's here?
Is she here?
Yeah, he's over there.
You got 10 minutes.
No, I say, you have 22 come to the top.
She is too. Yes.
You guys want to do next? Soha? on, boys. Hang on. So, this next song the boys are gonna sing is gonna be a grass dance song. So hopefully the spirit of the grass dancers will come here. But during before powwow starts, the grass dancer comes out and he blesses the grounds. Right? He says a prayer for everybody that's gonna come to that celebration, that they get there safely, right? And then he says a prayer that everybody gets home safely and that everybody has a good time while they're there. So hopefully we'll have some grass dance spirit here. Boys.
Thank you, and a big shout out to the All Nations drummers. Woo! We're going to start the day off with a prayer from my fellow board member, Peggy Petawatakot.
I think the east is right here. That's where I'm directing east. And I'll start there and then I'll go around with the Sema. Hey.
Speak right into the mic because this one is low. So you have to lower everything right down, right? I was going to come up after another two things happened, but that's okay, right? We're not in control of things. So tanse eski nikamu na tisina kasun mayenga no dem natatakup Saskatchewan eskazoni na dunjaba. What I've told you is the name that I've been known by from those ancestors and was given to carry and walk with is Earth Song, and that's to speak for everything within the earth. And it was a huge name that, for somebody who's so short, it was kind of hard to take that when I was given that name and to walk with that. But that's who I am, and that's who I come to you as today. First of all, I want to give thanks to the Mississaugas of New Credit, on whose territory that we're standing on, and the Haudenosaunee people who have come here, and the Huron-Wendat, and all those other nations that were welcomed here, including us, including me and my family, because my family is from Atatakup, Saskatchewan, and Eskazoni. So I'm from Saskatchewan and down off of Cape Breton. So I give thanks to them today for taking care of this land and having that responsibility to take care of that land, and then to gift that land to us to be able to work, to study, to live, to raise our families, and to take care of. So to them I say, hi Miigwech, thank you for allowing me to be here and for me to do work on this land. As Peggy said, this has been a vision from Patty to make sure that our women who are coming out of institutions, our two-spirited people, our gender-diverse people, that have been in a place confined and restricted, and we're welcoming them to a space back inside that circle. We're not just sending them out of those doors and letting them fend for themselves. Patty's vision was to make sure that we surround those people with love and care and kindness, to be able to embrace back to the center, to provide supports for them so that they're not wandering around lost, coming out into a space where they've been kept away from. And most of the time, kept away unjustly, and continue to be kept away unjustly. We represent over 85% of the population, Indigenous people in jails. When you think of that number, automatically you know there's something wrong. So we're bringing our families back, because we're all families of the heart. As Indigenous people, no one needs to be outside of that circle. No one needs to be left alone. So today we call on that Creator and those ancestors to come and be with us while this important work is being done. While we'll be able to provide for them that spiritual support that they need, that emotional support they need, that physical support they need, as well as that intellectual support they need. And it takes all of us as community to do this work. Many people have stood behind Patty and said, here I am, I'm with you. Many of you have given generously and went without yourself to provide and make this happen. We know from the very beginning we were met with opposition, because people fear what they don't know. People fear the change that may be coming. But we're not here to do bad work, we're here to do good work. We're here to support those people that are coming out of institutions that need help, right? To reintegrate back into society, reintegrate back into their families, pick up those gifts that they were given and walk in a good way. And that's what was Patty's vision, to do this work. And she worked tiredly, right? Patty spends so much time conversing with people, trying to get them to understand what it is we're doing. And I'm really happy that those ancestors and the Creator are giving those people to Patty and have made these things come into place so that we can all work together collectively like the way we were supposed to, right? We're sitting in a circle today, we're standing in a circle. And that means we're here supporting each other. We're not just here and there, right? We've made that commitment to come together to support this land, to build this vision, to make this this dream a reality. And that's what's happening. So today we ask those ancestors and the Creator, come and bless this land, right? Make those gifts come to those people that are needing those gifts. Provide those that carry those gifts to come and be with us, to provide those supports. Because it takes all of us. We have many gifts together. You know, it's much like when we go to a buffet, they don't only have one thing to eat, right? There's many things and you can choose from them because everybody likes something different. Everybody has a different taste. Gifts are the same way. We all carry gifts, and when we bring them together, how rich are we? Right? We've been missing that with this COVID time that we're in. Right? We've been separated again. We've been removed from each other. Those supports weren't there. But you've shown today that you have that goal, the same as what we have, to come and ask the Creator and the ancestors, bless our land, make those women healthy, provide the services they need, give them the resources they need, bring those people that are those resources and provide those resources here, sit with us, be one with us, take care of each other, because that's our original teachings, right? Nobody gets left behind. Even though we may do something wrong, we don't just throw our people away, right? We talk to them. We enrich them and say what it is and how it affected somebody and how we can change from that and how we can make things good. So that's what we're here to do, make things good again. Support them. Bring them up, not push them down. Because when we just open those doors and tell them to go, there's many people out there that are ready to push them down. There's many people out there that say, you shouldn't even be out here, get back in there. Right? Why? All of us have done things in our lives that we may not be proud of, we may not be happy about, but we learn through supports that we can be proud of who we are, especially as Indigenous people, because we don't have a good track record with those that came here, right? They didn't want us to be here, but they can't break our spirit, and that's what we're asking for today. We're asking for those spirits to come and be with us. Keep giving us strength. Keep giving us what we need. Keep providing for us those tools that we need to walk in a good way. Keep supporting our spirit. Keep us strong. Our ancestors did it long before us, and those little ones that are here, they'll be doing it again. Right? We're to keep going. Keep giving those teachings, giving those understandings. Because it doesn't stop with us right here. We're providing that information for the future as well. And we're providing that service for those that haven't even been inside yet, because we know there are people that will be going inside and then coming back outside. So it's going to be a lot of work. So Creator, ancestors, be with us. Help us walk this journey so that we can be those supports for those people. Help us share our words of wisdom, our understandings, our gifts. Help us to be able to do what's right for those people and accept those people that will be coming into our center. Help us to share. Help us to walk in humility, because none of us is greater than anybody coming out of that institution. We could be going in there tomorrow. So we have to be grateful for what we have today and say to the Creator and the ancestors, hi, Miigwech, thank you. Thank you for giving me that strength to be able to support somebody else. Thank you for giving me the resources that are needed. Thank you for coming into each other's lives. For that we say hi, Miigwech to the Creator and those ancestors. We ask each and every one of you to take this message today. Take this understanding that this land is going to be beautiful. It was once a deserted lot. It once didn't have life. But this is our mother, the earth. We're bringing our mother back to our people. We're bringing that comfort, that caring, that support, that love back to our people. And all of you made that happen. Not just one person. Patty's beautiful vision, yes. They spoke to her and said, this is what's needed. And Patty talked with each and every one of you. And Patty will be talking with each and every one of you, even if you never met her before. You can be guaranteed that those ancestors are going to have her talk to you, because you're here. You're part of this now, right? This will always be with you. And you will continue to share that with other people. And you will be those strengths. You will be those supports. Because we're always meant to be where we're meant to be, because the Creator and the ancestors put us here. They've brought you here today. Some of you may not even know why you're here. You will know. You will know that you are the blessing for the people, right? As well as human beings, we're blessings to each other.
Put some in blue. And then let them go around black now. Then it's going to go in the fire.
So for that, I say thank you to each and every one of you. Hi, Miigwech. Hi, Miigwech Creator, for sending the people here, for bringing the people back to the land, for reminding us that our mother we're standing on, that we are to be like our mother, care for each other, be compassionate, be forgiving, Be humble. Be kind. Treat each other with love and respect. Follow those 7 grandfather teachings that we've been given. And don't withhold those from anybody. Because who are we to hold back what somebody needs? Right? We're here to support each other. We're here to lift each other up. We're here to bring each other together. We're here to make people healthy. Well people do not go and see a doctor. Sick people go and see the doctor. And you're all doctors. Right? We're all here for the one purpose, to help each other, to enrich each other's lives. So, Creator, ancestors, come and walk on this land with us. Take care of this land. Provide into that sacred fire. Because hopefully, when she said to you, put those intentions into that tobacco, you're praying for those people coming out. You're praying for communities to come back together and be healthy and strong. You're praying for families to be reunited. Little ones that have been waiting for their family members to come out and to be with them again, to share that love and to share that reciprocity of giving back. That's what we're here for. Take care of each other. Support each other. Be kind to each other. Hi, hi, Miigwech Creator. Hi, hi. Hi, hi. Hi, hi. Hi, hi. Miigwech, thank you. Do you want feather?
Sure.
Oh, one more thing.
Oh, go ahead.
I forgot, sorry. Almost forget, I was going to get a smack in the back of my head. I brought my elder here today. And my elder is from the East Coast. Her name is Vina Simone. She's a fluent Mi'kma'ki teacher, language teacher, elder in our community. And she's here to say a prayer for our people from the East, to let them know that they will be supported as well, to let them know that she is going to be working with us, giving tirelessly like she does always, giving back to people, being that helper, and giving that support. So if I could ask Vina to come up and say what she needs to say in the language.
Yeah. Whoops, sorry. Nado, halalin. Yeah, yeah, it's me. I'm from Elsipogtog, Council of Seven Fires, Mi'kmaq Confederacy. I've been an I've been a clan mother since 45 years ago, when my mother died. I know that's young, but I was taught that was my first language, but I was taught traditional ways and lived a traditional life up until I came to the city. I'm gonna say a prayer for the women. Oh, I forgot. We're also known as Wabanaki. Wabanaki means people of the dawn, because we get up every morning and greet the sun. But I'm going to say a prayer for the women and ask for guidance. In Mi'kmaq, Niskam ge abo no deska sid ebi deska Ilnuisk. Dan wigido la Niskam when jigum. So now one died and he's still away when jigum. That will only ego sit go able sit amog edeg samguan midipchawe aufchid wisisk sit ko'y dan gisiultun. Agnu maane na buadam abon mo. Wala ule ji du ebitis. I'd like to say something to the eagle. When I'm sad, your voice makes me happy. When I get angry, I calm down when I see you. And when you soar in the sky, my heart soars with you. Wala linggiptu. Chimigwech wala liyo. Msidnumutas. Thank you. Yeah. I don't know who's next.
Thanks, Sue. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Kelly Potvin, and I'm the co-president of the board for Thunder Woman Healing Lodge Society. I've been working with Patty on this project for almost 3 years, and it's been an incredible journey. I want to just remind everyone that we're welcoming friends, supporters of Thunder Woman. We have some dignitaries who are going to speak, and hopefully we have some of our future neighbors here to come out and welcome us on this land blessing. We're gathering here today on a site that is going to be the first healing lodge for Indigenous women in this province. And when I say that, it's a long time coming. This lodge will have 12 spaces for women who are either, they're healing lodge spaces for women who are on bail, women who are on federal parole, or women who are on provincial probation. In 2015, calls to action of Truth and Reconciliation. Most importantly, stop over-policing and over-incarcerating Indigenous people. And in 2015, when these calls to action were made, 30% of all federally sentenced women in the country were our women, were Indigenous women. And we only make up 4, maybe 5% of the population. Since 2015, since the calls to action, that number has done nothing but go up. Today we're at 42%. Next year, I fear we're going to be higher. We need to change this cycle of incarceration, and the only way we can do it is by government seriously investing in an Indigenous community and Indigenous community projects like this one. This project, the lodge is going to work with Indigenous women to help them on their healing journey so that they can reconnect with their Indigenous spirit and identity. So I want to thank all of our supporters who came out today, and all of the dignitaries who are going to speak. I get the pleasure of introducing them all. So without further ado, I want to start by introducing Deputy Grand Chief Gordon Peters. Gordon Peters is Delaware Nation and is a member of the Turtle Clan family. Over the past 40 years, Gordon has worked with First Nations on a national, regional, and international levels, both politically and non-politically. He currently holds the position of Deputy Grand Chief for the Association of Iroquois and Allied Nations and actively participates in the political realm within his own community, serving as an elected councillor. Gordon previously served as the Ontario Regional Chief for 12 years, representing 133 First Nations through the Chiefs of Ontario, as well as President Grand Chief for AIAI for 10 years. In 1997, he founded the Center for Indigenous Sovereignty, a federal non-profit corporation with its own board of directors, who works toward the rebuilding of Indigenous communities, nations, governments, and organizations. Welcome.
Thank you. I didn't write that, okay? Somebody else wrote that. Quiggini Waloma, Nidishinzi Tatat Men, Kiha, Takswa, Nunji Iyo, El Napawi La Kiwi. So, Inishi Ki Shalamakwe, Inishi Koknaha Ki. So today we're here to be able to do the honoring of this work that's being carried on by the women, and this healing work. And we've been at this thing for a while, but when you think about the time frames, about 35 years or so, it's not been that long time that we've been in the recovery process of our people. We got the Bob Rae government in the early 90s to do a major program. About starting to be able to do the work with all peoples. We got the federal government to be able to start the Royal Commission on Aboriginal People, and in the process of that, we got them to do a special study called Breaking the Silence, so we could get them to be able to begin to deal with residential school. We're now in the process of going through dealing with federal day schools. We've also dealt with the 60 scoop. But that's all individually based processes that we're working with. And so we have to be able to start to rebuild everything that we're doing. And so we come here today to honor women. And Koknaha Keys for us is our first mother. And so we acknowledge that first mother that we have, because that mother provides for all of us. She just doesn't provide for us as Indigenous people. She provides for everybody who is on this land, and that's responsibility that we have. We don't have the same idea of borders and all the kinds of other things that Europeans brought with them, but we have a never-ending responsibility to look after our lands and our resources. That's a responsibility that each and every one of us carry in order to be able to do that. I was trying to think about the stories that are told about the thunder beings, because we have different stories, and different nations have different stories about how those thunder beings come. And so part of all the reclamation work that gets done, you hear all these stories from different peoples and different nations. Some have stories about the thunder beings who come, and their responsibility is to make sure that the water comes and the earth stays moist, so that these beings that are below the earth don't come back up again. You know, some people have to talk about the thunder beings as having that relationship as part of their messengers that come and bring their messages to them, and being able to do that. So there's another story about the thunder beings, and it says that amongst those thunder beings that are there in the cloud world and the sky world up there, they're there to be able to look after us. They're there to be able to protect us and to be able to help us whenever we need help. But it says in that story that I was told, it says there comes a time when those thunder beings, it's a very rare time that they come, and they come to interact and to become part of this human form. And so to me, that's Patty Pettigrew, Thunder Woman. That has come from the sky world to here to be that strong. We have all kinds of capable people now, and the board of directors here, the people that support, we have capable peoples all over right now. The growing numbers of people to be able to support, but yet our numbers are still that we heard about. Women is still off, and so we've got to do a lot more work, and we've got to get back to finding better ways of being able to help each other. I don't believe governments are out there are going to help us any in being able to do what we do. And so we've got to help each other. And we've got to find allies to help each other. That means people, we've got to reach out all over to find help from different peoples. Because it's about our children, it's about us today, our children, our grandchildren. We're all going to live on this earth together. we're all going to ask our mother to be able to help us for the future generations. And so that's something in common that we have, and something that we should hold on to, we should nurture, we should be able to have that love for each other within that process that we have. So I'm happy to be here to support this. I'm happy to be a man standing here talking about women's healing lodges. I mean, you know, so yes. So Anishi.
Thank you, Gord. The next person who's going to come and speak for us is MP Pam Damoff. The Honourable Pam Damoff is serving her second term as Member of Parliament for Oakville North Burlington. She has served as the Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Health, as a member of the House of Commons Committee on Public Safety and National Security, and the Vice Chair of the Committee on Status of Women. In December of 2019, she was named Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Indigenous Service. Honourable Pam Damoff.
Thank you so much for including me here today. And I want to start by acknowledging that we are gathered here today on traditional territory of the Mississauga of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, Chippewa, Wendat, and Haudenosaunee people. I got the invitation to come here today, and I actually let out a big yoo-hoo out loud. I had the privilege of talking to Patty a few months ago, and after the conversation, I decided that she's a force of nature and that this was going to happen. And to be here for this land blessing today, I'm just so thrilled. A few years ago, while other people went south in January, I decided to go to Edmonton and visit some corrections facilities, because as an MP, you have the right to visit any prison in Canada. So Edmonton is a city that has an overabundance of prisons. So I visited Edmonton Max, Edmonton Institute for Women, Buffalo Sage Healing Lodge, which is for women, and Paysac Esteo and Stan Daniels, which are both healing lodges for men. And at Buffalo Sage, I was able to sit in a circle with the women who were incarcerated there, as they told their stories about what brought them into the correctional system, into the criminal justice system. Every single woman I met, regardless of what facility she was in, was there because of poverty, because of mental health issues, because of addictions, because of trauma. And we have treated those women so poorly. And I listened to their stories and I thought, where else would they end up except in the criminal justice system? And one of the ladies during the circle said that it's the first time at Buffalo Sage Healing Lodge that she was actually healing and not surviving. The success rate of those people who go through the Healing Lodge in being able to succeed on the outside is astronomical. And as was mentioned, there hasn't been one in Ontario. And I want to just drive home for you, when you hear the statistics about Indigenous people in corrections, those are reflective of the entire country. When you go out west, it's actually closer to 70 or 80% of the prisons that are filled with Indigenous people. Indigenous women continue to be the fastest growing prison population in Canada. So having something like this here in Toronto, in Ontario, is going to be transformational for those women. And I have no doubt that with Patty in leadership here and the other people that are working on this, it's going to be a real gem in the community, and one that will serve as a pilot for other parts of the country. So thank you to everyone who's been supportive. Thank you to my colleague Adam Vaughn, who's here. I know he's going to be speaking, but Adam is a huge advocate for housing and for making sure that the most vulnerable are able to succeed. So to all of you, thank you. I'm really excited to have been included here. Patty, wherever you are, hiding in the back there, thank you so much for your leadership, and thank you for being the kind of woman that you are to actually get us here today. So thank you very much. Thank you, Miigwech.
Just gonna check the sound for 2 seconds. You want me to like sing or something? Because you don't really want that. Is that? I don't know. Is it a little bit better out there? Can you hear in the back? Yeah? Thanks, Sarah. Our next speaker is Minister of Parliament Adam Vaughan. He's been elected to the House of Commons 3 times and has also served 2 terms as a city councillor. He currently represents the riding of Spadina Fort York and serves as Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Families, Children and Social Development and Housing. Throughout his career, Adam Vaughan has been a champion for affordable housing in Toronto. We're very pleased to have him. Honourable Adam Vaughan.
I'd like to begin by thanking the firekeepers and the drummers who opened today's ceremony in a good way, and of course the elders who have given us lessons in language and love with their words as well. And I'd like to thank them and to pay my respects to the ceremonies. I'm the Member of Parliament for Spadina Fort York, and of course Spadina is Ojibwe. It's a Ishpatina. It's the word for higher ground. And it references the escarpment just around where Spadina runs up to near Castle Loma, where Spadina House, a better pronunciation perhaps, but is this notion of the higher ground, I think, is what we're talking about today. It's trying to get Mother Earth and a higher space occupied by better practices to make sure that people have better opportunities and better choices in their life. I was in Nawash with the Chippewa of Nawash, and we were at a ceremony very similar to this as we built 19 new homes in the community. And as part of the process of breaking ground, the elder there spoke about what we're losing in terms of other homes as we break the soil. And the drummers were drumming. I'm not sure if you noticed it, but the grasshoppers, when they're doing the grass song, the grasshoppers just started bouncing off the soil. And I think we need to recognize that within the trees and in the soil, with the insects, with all those, they're surrendering their homes so that the women of your community have a better home. We should pay respect to them as well, because they're giving up a little bit to make sure that the women in this project do much better. And that's a teaching that as a member of Parliament, as we embark on reconciliation, it's those teachings that start to make us think differently about just about everything we do here. The organizers are saying that part of this project involves as well having an environmental performance attached to the building, but what it really does is it allows you to grow the medicines you need to start that healing process as well. And that's part of the holistic approach, which I think communities have been trying to teach us for centuries in this part of the world, and we haven't really listened very well in the past. And hopefully those lessons about honoring the earth and about making sure that the medicines that grow there are used for healing and not just simply harvested for the sake of being harvested. All of these things are good lessons for us to contemplate as we sit here today. And I'll end with one last little story about my first time in Scarborough talking with Indigenous people. We know that Scarborough has a very strong tradition and a very large population. But about 30 years ago, when I first met Ken on a program as a reporter at City TV, following Jojo Chinto around, which is a story in itself, but I won't tell it here. But I met a family from Scarborough, the Grey Eyes. You probably know Michael Grey Eyes, the dancer, but his mother was a teacher in Scarborough, and Phyllis, his sister, was also working out here and living out here. And I remember sitting with the family doing an interview, and they're from Saskatchewan as well, and they had a real sense of humor about their place in Scarborough. And he said, you know, how'd you get here? And I referenced coming up Kingston Road on the way to their house. And they said, you know, every time you find a street in Toronto that isn't straight, you're on an Indigenous trail. You're on a space that's Indigenous. And the names may have changed, but the mere fact that the road is crooked and winds through the city tells you it probably followed a water line, that it followed the earth. And you should think about that when you're traveling through the city. I think the fact that this place is on Kingston Road is kind of interesting. It's one of the streets that doesn't follow the military grid that the settlers first put down and gives us all our streets like Dundas and Spadina and Bloor and all the other streets. It's a road that makes its way along the water's edge, and it's on higher ground, which gets us back to Ishpatina, and that hope that we can use Mother Earth to raise up our people, raise up our friends and our families and our neighbors and our Indigenous brothers and sisters, and find that better place. And this project is one of those things that I think does that. So I want to congratulate the folks that have a vision. I want to congratulate those folks that are working hard to build that vision into reality. And I want to promise you that this isn't just the first, but this is the first of many healing lodges and places to live and places to call home and places to find shelter and get health. And Miigwech for the honor to speak to you today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our next speaker is, I have to say, when we were going before the Committee of Adjustments, she was the first politician to publicly get behind this project. So it's an honor to introduce MPP Dolly Begum. She's the Ontario NDP Member of Parliament for Scarborough Southwest in this riding. She's a former co-chair of the Scarborough Health Coalition and vice chair of Warden Woods Community Centre. Dolly is the critic for early learning and childcare and deputy whip for the official opposition. Welcome.
Hello everyone. Miigwech for having me be a part of this. It is an absolute honor for me to stand here. I grew up in this neighborhood, and I actually used to live right across the street, and when I heard about this, first I feel a little speechless because the words that has already been spoken by Chief Gordon Peters about Peterborough, as well as the Thunder Woman Healing Lodge. I think he said it very well. You know, she's a force herself, and just watching how the team patiently dealt last year with this project and doing community consultations, phone calls, emails, everything. It was incredible. And I remember someone asked last year, why did you choose this location? And one of the first things Patty said was, it's near the waters. And in my tradition as a Bangladeshi Canadian, one of the things I learned from my grandmother, my nani, was that water heals you. It washes away the pain. It washes away all the traumas that we have within as we grow up. And that's something I have always kept with me for the years that I'm here without my nani. And when she said that to me, I felt it here. I thought, you know, there are so many things that connects us from different parts of the world. And I felt that connection. And I thought, what better land to do something like this than here? But what was truly incredible was watching how the Healing Lodge, the Thunder Woman Healing Lodge Society come together and do a circle. So last year when they did the consultation, they did a circle so that everyone can feel part of the healing circle and have that conversation. And as a settler myself and as a community member here, I think we have a huge responsibility. It's been more than a year since the report on missing and murdered Indigenous women was published, and I think just last June we found out that it'll be a little delayed in terms of getting the national action plan. And although we're delayed, I'm optimistic because I feel that there are community leaders. Many of them are here today. I know in the leaders that I'm seeing from different organizations, we have from the Circle of Fire to the Anishinaabe Homes to Toronto Police. We have so many different organizations represented just in this space right now, in different individuals who are doing incredible work. I also want to thank the MPs, our local councillor, Councillor Gary Crawford, who's been doing amazing work to support this project. And it really shows how these communities come together to do the things that we need to do. Because although the federal government may be delayed, I think this force right here will make sure that that action takes place, that there are real steps taken to make sure that we address the challenges that the Indigenous community is facing right here. And although it may be a small step in the great amount of work that we have to do, it's a mighty step. and it was tough to get here. Trust me, I know that. I've seen that. I've the conversations I've had with Patty, I know what they went through. It was a lot of work, and they have done an incredible job to get here, and it's a mighty step to make sure that we address some of the issues, maybe a little bit of it, but it's an important one. I want to end by saying that as the local MPP, one of the things I am so proud of in Scarborough Southwest is the way we share this one value of caring for your neighbor. And I know we all believe in that. And I hope that we can continue to uphold that, because that'll be so important in making sure that the women that come to this space, which will be so incredible, because we have to make sure that when we are letting out any project, when we're making sure that any project comes together, we have neighbors who support one another. And that doesn't matter which culture you come from, where you come from. That value, if it's upheld, we can all work together in making sure that this is a success. So it is an honor for me to work together with the Thunder Women Healing Lodge Society. Thank you, Kelly, for all your work. Thank you to the entire team. And thank you to all of you for your love and support. It is an honor. Hi, Miigwech.
Thank you. Our next speaker is a city councillor for this ward, Ward 20. Mr. Crawford was really gracious during the Committee of Adjustments process that he helped guide us. He lent us his staff. Some of his staff came out today just to help us get through the whole process. And we're very grateful, and very grateful that he came to join us today. Gary Crawford is currently serving his third term as Toronto City Councillor for the newly expanded Ward 20. He's been appointed by Council for a second term as Budget Chair and as member of the Mayor's Executive Committee.
Thank you very much, Kelly, and I just want to thank everybody for the opportunity to be here. I recognize how important it is and how humbled I am to be here with all of you to have an opportunity to bless this land. And I recognize the significance of this day. It's not just a day, it's not just a building, it is much more than that. And I recognize that this building and the work, the incredible work that is going to be happening here with the healing of the women that'll be coming through here is the first, of course, as we've heard, in Ontario, in Toronto, and actually in this community. So it is with that I am very humbled to have that opportunity to be with you here today. I think I met Patty and Kelly about 2 years ago. With an initial few conversations about the vision that they wanted to put into this community, into the heart of this community, into the heart of this city. And we talked a lot about the building, about what we need to do in the Committee of Adjustment to put in the concrete, to put in the building, and that's a process that they didn't quite understand recognizably, because it's still hard for me to understand sometimes myself, but we guided them through that. We felt that this was something important that we had to do for the organization. And as we were going through that, and this is just the building component of that, of how do you put in a building on a piece of land. We had wonderful conversations, and we got to know, and I got to know Patty personally on many different levels, and just the vision. And yes, she has the determination to pull through and put through what she feels is necessary and important, and she did that. And I want to recognize her on the incredible amount of work that she did to be able to put this through. But what I also recognize is the journey has been a long journey. And I recognize the conversations have been long, and I recognize some of the conversations have been challenging. They have been difficult for all of you here. They've been difficult for me, and I think we can all understand what we mean by that. But what is also important is we all need to continue having the conversations. We need to continue the journey, because it is an important journey that we all have to do. And if we do not have those conversations, if we do not have and speak the way we feel from inside, and what is important and what we need to do to reconcile and to make the changes that we need to do. That is something we have to do. You all need to be heard. And I want to thank Patty. And it was just through those conversations over the last couple of years with this community, with the people that live over here and up into that building. And I think through those conversations, there's a better understanding. There's a better understanding of the journey. There's a better understanding of the healing that needs to take place and will take place in and on this land. So again, I want to thank Patty, Kelly, and all of the team who have done incredible work here. And I want to welcome you to this community. And I want to welcome you back to this land, a land that you have nurtured, we have all nurtured, and we've heard how important it is to continue to build the strength of the land. And yes, we are not too far away from the water. And I look at just the symbolism of why and how, and this, I mean, part of this would have been, when you're looking at land, there's a cost to this. The land had to be purchased. But when I think about the vision of what Patty had, it's almost natural that this land, in many ways, was chosen as an important land, as my former colleague, Adam Vaughn said, on Kingston Road in Scarborough Southwest. So on behalf of Dolly Begum, who is one of the representatives of this community, official representatives, I welcome you here and to the good healing work that you're going to be doing to many, many people. And thank you. Miigwech.
Thank you, Mr. Crawford. So I think we've saved the best for last. There's a woman who everyone has mentioned as being an immovable force. She is our founder. She is our first president. She's my friend, and she's our current executive director. Please welcome Patty Pettigrew.
We couldn't have asked for a better day. I'd like to say Kwekwe, which in the Algonquin language means welcome. My name is Patty Pettigrew. My spirit name is Blue Thunder Woman, and I'm a proud member of the Algonquins of Pikwakanagan First Nation. I'd like to thank everybody who's come today, everybody who's spoken, and I'm particularly really honored because Chief Wendy Jocko, the chief of my community, traveled 4.5 hours to be here today. Wendy, and that is a real honor, Miigwech. So I spent probably most of last night, because I couldn't sleep, thinking about this land blessing and what it means. And I realized that when we do a land blessing, we make a commitment. We make a commitment to the land, to the earth, to our mother. We make a commitment to treat her with respect and with kindness. And we make a commitment that if we're going to erect a building on top of her, we're going to do it in a way that is gentle and mindful, and that we will not pollute her anymore. And as I thought about this, I saw how in doing this ceremony, in giving thanks to this land, to the earth, who is so giving, so loving, and has not given up on us yet, even though we have treated her so disrespectfully. In doing this ceremony, I realized that as we make the commitment to work with her, cooperate with her, she will then emit such powerful healing from the very core of the planet. And that healing and that vibration will enter right into the very building that we're going to erect on this land. And that will enter into all the women